Welcome to the podcast today, where we will be talking all about Pat Mesiti's incredible book, How to Have a Millionaire Mindset. And you might be thinking another book about money,
hmm
but trust me, this one is different. Pat isn't just giving us financial tips. He's really exploring why some people seem to attract wealth, while others struggle. People all over the world listen to Pat's advice, and it's changed their lives. What's your take on this? Is it really all about mindset?
What's fascinating about Pat Mesiti's book, How to Have a Millionaire Mindset, is the way he connects our thoughts and beliefs to our financial outcomes. He argues that our income potential isn't necessarily determined by external factors, but by our internal programming, our mindset. It's a pretty radical idea, don't you think?
It is. It really challenges that whole pull yourself up by your bootstraps
Yeah.
mentality. So if our mindset is so crucial, where do we even begin to unravel those limiting beliefs that might be holding us back?
That's where the concept of mind viruses comes in. Pat describes these as negative thoughts and beliefs about money that we've often picked up from our environment, our upbringing, or even society as a whole. They infect our thinking and make us believe that wealth is unattainable.
Okay, so these mind viruses are like these sneaky little programs running in the background, sabotaging our efforts without us even realizing it. Can you give us some examples of what these might sound like?
Absolutely. Think about phrases you might have heard growing up, like money doesn't grow on trees or rich people are greedy. These seemingly harmless sayings can actually plant seeds of scarcity and fear around money. They make us believe that there's not enough to go around or that wealth comes at the expense of others.
Wow. I've definitely heard those phrases before and probably even repeated them myself. I never really stopped to think about the impact they might be having on my subconscious. But how do we know if we've been infected by these mind viruses? What are some signs we should be looking out for?
One way is to pay attention to your self-talk. Do you find yourself constantly worrying about money? Do you feel resentful of people who are financially successful? Do you believe that wealth is only for a select few? These could be indicators that you have some limiting beliefs around money that need to be addressed.
That's really eye-opening. It's like we need to become detectives of our own thoughts and really examine those deeply ingrained beliefs that we might not even be aware of. So let's say we've identified some of these mind viruses. How do we actually go about changing these negative thought patterns?
Pat emphasizes the importance of consciously shifting our thinking. He uses the powerful analogy of seeing a glass as half full or half empty. It's the same amount of water, but the perspective makes all the difference. It highlights how our mindset, our way of framing things, can dramatically impact our reality.
That makes a lot of sense. It's not just about changing our circumstances. It's about changing our perception of those circumstances. He tells that great story about the two shoe salesmen in Africa.
Right. Yes. This story from How to Have a Millionaire Mindset perfectly illustrates how a simple shift in perspective can completely change our outcomes. One salesman sees a market with no potential because no one is wearing shoes. He thinks, these people can't afford shoes, I'm going to fail here. The other sees a huge untapped opportunity. He thinks, wow, if I can introduce shoes to this market, everyone will want them. This is my chance to make a real impact. It's the same situation, but their mindsets determine their success.
That's so powerful. It reminds us that we always have a choice in how we view the world,
Yeah.
and that our perspective creates our reality.
Exactly. It all comes back to mindset. And Pat argues that we can consciously choose to cultivate a millionaire mindset, even if we haven't had that model in our own lives.
So how do we go about developing that millionaire mindset? Where do we even begin?
Well, in How to Have a Millionaire Mindset, Pat stresses that it's not just about positive thinking. It's about taking concrete actions to align your behaviors with your goals. One of the key principles he emphasizes is the power of focus. He argues that we need to be crystal clear about what we want and then direct all our energy towards achieving it.
That makes sense, but it's easier said than done, right? There are so many distractions and demands on our time. How do we stay focused when there's so much vying for our attention?
Pat tells a really funny story about his experience with an electronic muscle stimulator. He thought he could just strap it on and get a six-pack without doing any actual exercise. Of course, it didn't work. It's like wanting the results without putting in the effort. He compares this to people who dream of becoming rich, but aren't willing to do the work required to build a successful business or invest wisely.
That's so relatable. We live in a culture of instant gratification, so it's easy to fall into the trap of wanting shortcuts. But real success takes time, dedication, and consistent effort. It's like that saying, the only place where success comes before work is in the dictionary.
Exactly. And How to Have a Millionaire Mindset encourages us to shift our thinking from how can I get rich quick to what am I passionate about? What value can I offer to the world? That's where real, sustainable success comes from.
So it's not just about chasing money, it's about aligning our actions with our passions and finding a way to contribute something meaningful to the world.
Precisely. And Pat emphasizes the importance of having a strong why behind your goals. What's the driving force that motivates you to achieve financial success? Is it to provide for your family, to travel the world, to make a difference in your community? The stronger your why, the more likely you are to overcome obstacles and stay committed to your vision.
He tells a really poignant story in the book about a young man who was hospitalized and given the choice between love and healing. The young man chose love, and that decision ultimately led to his recovery. It really highlights the power of our deepest desires and the importance of understanding what truly motivates us.
That's a powerful story. It reminds us that wealth is not an end in itself, but a means to an end. What are you ultimately trying to achieve with your financial goals? What kind of life do you want to create for yourself and those you care about? Those deeper motivations are what will fuel your journey.
So we've talked about focus, passion, and having a strong why. What other key principles are crucial for cultivating a millionaire mindset?
Well, How to Have a Millionaire Mindset also emphasizes the importance of goal setting and planning. It's not enough to just dream about being wealthy. You need to have a clear vision of what you want to achieve and a concrete plan for getting there.
That sounds a lot like the popular SMART goals framework, making sure your goals are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant.
And time bound. Absolutely. And Pat encourages us to break down our goals into smaller, more manageable steps. This not only makes them seem less daunting, but it also allows us to celebrate our progress along the way, which helps maintain motivation.
This reminds me of that incredible story he tells about Sylvester Stallone's relentless pursuit of his dream to star in the movie Rocky. He was so determined to bring his vision to life that he turned down huge sums of money to maintain creative control. He knew what he wanted and refused to settle for anything less.
Stallone is a great example of someone who had a clear vision and was willing to put in the work to make it a reality. He didn't let setbacks or rejections deter him. He knew his worth and stayed true to his passion.
His story is so inspiring, shows that with unwavering belief and persistent action, we can achieve even our most audacious dreams. But what about those of us who don't have that same level of self-confidence, or who might be struggling with fear of failure? How do we overcome those internal hurdles?
That's where the concept of acting as if comes in. Pat encourages us to behave as if we already possess the qualities or resources we desire. For example, if you want to be more confident, start acting like a confident person. Dress the part. Speak up in meetings. Take on challenges that stretch you beyond your comfort zone.
So it's about embodying the qualities we aspire to, even if we don't feel them fully yet.
Exactly. It's about rewiring our brains through consistent action and stepping into the role we want to play in our lives. And as we take these bold steps, we start to build momentum and attract opportunities that align with our new mindset.
It sounds like we're talking about creating a self-fulfilling prophecy. By acting as if we're already successful, we start to believe it on a deeper level. And that belief then attracts the circumstances and resources that support our vision.
That's a great way to put it. And as we start to see evidence of our own success, our confidence grows and the cycle continues to spiral upwards.
This is all so fascinating, but how to have a millionaire mindset goes beyond just achieving our own financial goals, doesn't it? Pat also talks about the importance of giving back and making a difference in the world.
That's right. How to Have a Millionaire Mindset emphasizes that true wealth encompasses more than just financial abundance. It's about living a life of purpose, generosity, and contribution. What are your thoughts on that?
Pat believes that a millionaire mindset involves being both a generous giver and a gracious receiver. He argues that when we focus on giving back to others and making a positive impact on the world, we create a cycle of abundance that flows back to us in unexpected ways.
He uses that heartwarming story of the young boy sharing his burger with his sister to illustrate this point, doesn't he?
Yes, even though the boy was hungry himself, he instinctively gave his burger to his sister because he recognized that her need was greater than his own. It's a simple act, but it speaks volumes about his character and his understanding of true generosity.
It reminds me of that quote by Winston Churchill. We make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give.
Exactly. And Pat also highlights the importance of being a gracious receiver. He points out that we often block our own prosperity by feeling unworthy or uncomfortable with receiving compliments, gifts, or help from others.
I think a lot of us struggle with that. We might downplay our accomplishments, or feel awkward accepting praise. Why do you think that is?
It could stem from a variety of factors,
Yeah.
such as low self-esteem, cultural conditioning, or even past experiences, where we were made to feel like we didn't deserve good things. But Pat encourages us to shift that thinking and embrace a mindset of abundance, recognizing that there's more than enough to go around and that we're all worthy of receiving good things in our lives.
That's such an important message. It's about recognizing our own worthiness and allowing ourselves to receive the blessings that come our way.
Absolutely. And when we're open to receiving, we not only benefit ourselves, but we also create opportunities for others to give, which strengthens the cycle of abundance.
It sounds like How to Have a Millionaire Mindset is really about cultivating a holistic approach to wealth, one that encompasses our thoughts, beliefs, actions, and our relationship with both giving and receiving.
That's a great way to sum it up. It's about recognizing that true prosperity goes far beyond the numbers in our bank accounts. It's about living a life that's aligned with our values, contributing to something greater than ourselves, and experiencing abundance in all areas of our lives.
This has been such an insightful conversation. Pat Mesiti's How to Have a Millionaire Mindset offers a truly unique perspective on wealth creation, one that focuses on cultivating the right mindset and aligning our actions with our deepest desires. For our listeners who are ready to embark on their own journey of financial transformation, what final piece of advice would you offer?
Um, I would encourage everyone to start by identifying those mind viruses that might be holding them back. Pay attention to your self-talk, challenge limiting beliefs, and replace them with positive affirmations that support your vision of financial abundance. Remember, your thoughts create your reality.
That's great advice. And for those who want to delve deeper into Pat's teachings and explore these concepts further, they can visit his website at messy.com. It's a treasure trove of resources and inspiration for anyone seeking to develop a millionaire mindset.
Absolutely. And remember, cultivating a millionaire mindset is a journey, not a destination. Be patient with yourself. Celebrate small victories. And never give up on your dreams. The power to create the life you desire lies within you.
Thank you so much for sharing your insights with us today. This has been an incredibly enriching conversation, and I know our listeners will walk away feeling inspired and empowered to create a life of abundance, both financially and in all areas of their life.
It's been my pleasure. And remember, the world needs your unique gifts and contributions. And go out there and create the life you were born to live.
And to our listeners, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into how to have a millionaire mindset. We hope you found this episode insightful and motivating. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep reaching for your dreams.